Alright, I'm just gonna raw dog this wholesale. I've been thinking about this like for a while. I don't like rating shows in general. I think it's kind of like dumb in a sense. But instead of like rating them normally, I more so go by what I think would be like a good first show. So I guess consider this like recommendations for like trying to introduce someone to Writer. I'm hoping editing me whenever he gets onto this will not mess up like I'm about to. I just got home from work. Alright, we're just gonna raw dog it. I'll go chronological order. Kuga. Ooh. Oh, that is absolutely required viewing. I think Kuga is just a very powerful start overall. Very simple to get into. You can sort of like just jump in right away. A lot of it is like very straight and to the point. It's not all that complicated. It's only one writer, one thing to keep track of. Perfect start. It's not my personal favorite. I should get that out there. But I think like as a show, and especially as like a potential first, very powerful. Okay, and then we got Agito. I like just finished this earlier. This is the last show I finished before I went on to the next one. Ooh. I'll put it in great. I like it. I really do. I have to like think just in general though, because a bit more like drama heavy. And there's also like, it's a sequel to Kuga, but not really. It's one of those things where it's like, it could just be like Kuga again, but since Kuga's already really good, I really like Agito. Like, I think they're good in different ways. I think if you have a friend who's more into like mystery and like drama, and like you want a little bit more humor to your stuff, a bit more like wackiness, I think you're solid going with Agito. I just think Kuga is definitely up there, just a little bit more, just because of how simplistic it is. Even then, like, they're both, like, good options. Also, Agito is, like, it's technically a Kuga sequel, but it's not really... You don't really need to watch Kuga to get what's going on in Agito. The references to Kuga are very, like, minuscule in the grand scheme of it. So, as a first show, yeah, I think it'd be pretty good. Ryuki, okay, I don't even gotta think about this one. Oh, yeah. Ryuki is up there. Again, Ryuki's not my favorite. None of these are my favorite. Just throwing that out there now. I like all of them. I really like them a lot. But Ryuki is in required viewing less because of the show itself, more so because of what it represents. Because it's like the first Rider War sort of shtick we got, and it's very different to the other two shows. The other two shows are more like typical superhero shows, but this one, like, they gotta fight each other. There's a lot more drama going on, a lot more stress about the main character, and the character interactions are like great. And as a first show for, like, newcomers, I can see this. I've put many people through Ryuki first, and they've stuck through it, and then they were interested to check out more. So, this is my personal, like, you gotta watch this, you gotta peep. It is the only Kamen Rider show you ever watch. I think it should be this one, only because then you get an introduction to how Rider shows can be, and you can basically, you can work around from there. Like, you want something a bit more lighthearted, you can move on to something else. You want something a bit more downtrodden. It's a good starting point. Very perfect starting point. It has a good mix of everything, and the mystery plot's pretty good. Just, chef's kiss. Beautiful. 5. That is a save for later. That is a save for later. I like Fies. I adore Fies sometimes. It depends on the day for me. Like, I will legitimately wake up one day and be like, ooh, man, Fies is really good. Love it to death. Like, one of my, like, definitely up there. And then, like, I'll remember a stupid plot point, and then it just, like, blasts my brain. It's like, do I like this show again? I think this is definitely a show you should watch, just in general, if you're into tokusatsu and, like, Kamen Rider specifically. This is, like, required viewing, in the sense of, after you've already gotten into it, I think the show itself is still very interesting, and it's worth a go-through once or twice, because it's just so... It's like a back and forth. It's like, it's messy, but it's like a messy that's very interesting to watch. I really like it, but I didn't start out liking it. It had to, like, sit with me for a little bit till I, like, figured it out. And even then, sometimes I think about it and it's like, So, save that one for later. Especially, like, if you want to get your friend into Rider, save that one for later, or, like, ask them if they're really into, like, very melodramatic, almost, like, depressing stories beforehand. But definitely not a first. Alright, here's the one that's gonna hurt me. I love Blade. I love Blade. Kamen Rider Blade is single-handedly my favorite. Just hands down. Like, gun to my head, if I had to pick a show to love forever, it's Blade. Blade forever, Blade for life. Cannot make that one a first one. No. Blade is amazing, but you sort of need the context of other Rider shows to get more out of it, because it's so different to everything else. Like, it's even, like, compared to, like, later shows and all that, it's still weird and different, and the first 10 episodes are, like, Mach speed pacing for no reason. You can definitely... I think as a third show, like, I usually do it, Ryuki, Faiz, and then Blade. I think that's perfect, because then you sort of... You get used to the formula a little bit, and then the whiplash of Blade hits you. Like, bam, just like that. So, very good show. I still recommend it. In fact, if you're watching this right now, go watch Blade. Watch Blade. It is my child. I love it to death. Even now, I am cradling Blade with my heart. Do not ever put your friends down to, like, watch Blade first. I do not think it is a good idea. Granted, you don't have to listen to me. Do whatever you want. This is just sort of how I see it. Okay, so Hibiki. We're gonna go here. Actually, Hibiki is almost like Faiz in the sense that I kind of want to save it for later. I really like Hibiki. It's a very, like, calm, spiritual show. The problem is that a lot of people get really mad at the second half because the quality does go down. Like, a whole new writer comes in, it's like a whole, like, issue. Like, the tone just shifts in a way that just can't be fixed again. But, even with that in mind, I don't regret going through the whole show. I think it's still a good start if you know someone who's, like, more into slice of life, something a bit more calming and soothing in comparison to something that's very loud and, like, proud sort of deal. It's very different, but very, very good. Now here's a funny one for anyone who knows me, because I do not like Kabuto. I genuinely despise it. So really, I should put it down to never a first. And I'm kind of tempted to, because it's genuinely that bad. You know what? I'm going to put it on preference solely because I'm going to give this one single thing to Kabuto. There is definitely an argument that if you like solo leveling, you're going to love Kabuto. If you are into solo leveling, you are definitely going to love Kabuto. That's my prediction right there. So if you want to watch one of the sloppiest plots I've seen in my life, with some of the most annoying characters in this whole damn series, I think you should put your friend through Kabuto. But that's just me. I have a whole video on that. We're not going to linger on that. We're going to keep the pace going. This is the annoying part, because I haven't seen Den-O, Kiva, or Decade. Though, with what I've heard about Den-O and Decade I put the solid start. I wonder if I put it... No, not yet. I don't want to be a liar. But anyway, Den-O would probably be great, because I have heard mixed things on it. And Decade, just by going by, like, what I've heard, would be in solid. Kiva, I don't know. I keep hearing that it's ass, but I genuinely can't believe that. So now we're going to go into the other shows that I have seen. W. Yeah. W's great. I haven't finished Double yet, but if you know someone who likes old detective, like, shows and all that, or you just want to show them how Heisei 2 is, it's maybe like a bit more lighter on the suffering and the pain, then you can definitely roll in with W just like that. Very good show. I'm almost tempted to put on Require, but I haven't finished it yet, but it's very powerful, very great. Like, it is a show I'm very comfortable in, like, recommending people. Oh, ooh, you're a good one, too. Ooh. Thinking about it. Yeah. That's required viewing. This isn't just me loving Os talking. I'm just, like, trying to consider if it's the only show that, like, you ever see ever from, like, this series. And Os is, like, that's definitely, like, a show I would fight tooth and nail for people to watch. It is definitely a good mix of, like, tragedy and comedy. Very solid, very powerful. And it has some of my favorite forms just in general. Like, Gata Kiriba is still, like, one of my favorite things ever. And overall just has such good variety that I don't think you'd be mistaken to show someone this. And, like, that's the only show they ever seen, because that's what this whole list is, like, about. Like, gun to your head, you had to pick one of these shows for someone to watch. And that's, like, the only one that they're going to watch of the whole season. Like, ever. Is sort of the thought process behind this. And if you want to get them hooked and all that. But yeah, Os, very powerful. Forze. This one's hard because I could see people getting, like, annoyed at this one. But I also think it's very... You know, we're going to put you in great, yeah. I fucking love Forze. Like, I love it to death. Like, I'm very biased towards it. But I could see people getting, like, annoyed with it. Like, I know some people don't like the suit. The fact that it's, like, high school kids and all that is, like, eh. Some people just are just, like that. So, I can see, like, rejection of it to a point. But speaking from, like, my personal experience, like, I've just been down for it the whole way through. I haven't rewatched it, though, with other people yet. That's mostly because I just sort of let them pick what they want to watch from, like, a collection. Outside of, like, Ryuki, that one's, like, required. Like, that one's too good to not watch. But I can see Forze being a good start if you know someone who likes astronauts and all that. Also, the writer for Gurren Lagann, like, wrote it too, so that could be a way to sucker people into it. Wizard might be my only solid start. I think it's good to introduce someone. It's a very casual show, so, like, the plot isn't too heavy, which some people could have an issue with. But I think you could start someone on Wizard and, like, build up to, like, heavier shows, like, later on, is what I'm thinking. I thought Wizard was pretty... It was alright. Very alright show, personally. I know some people, like, hate it because it's, like, mid or whatever, but I don't see the problem with that. Not every show has to, like, hit a complete home run. I had a fun time with it, and that's all I really wanted out of it, so... Vibing with that one. And you know, I have a friend who's, like, all into magic and wizardry and all that. You could easily get them to watch this. The variety in magic spells alone will, like, keep them on their seats. Gaim. Ooh. I have a friend who did get into Rider because of Gaim. So, like, I want to say it's great, because, like, it is. Like, the show's really good. But I'm also judging it based off of, like, what I've heard from other people and how they see it. Some people don't like how the first couple episodes don't go anywhere according to them. I think they're wrong, but I could see why they would say that. I'll put it in depends on preference. I think that's the best spot for it. Granted, I think you also get people to watch it just by saying Urobuchi, like, wrote it. The fact that you say that alone, that will sucker people into watching it. Like, it's either depends or solid start, depending on how, like, everything. Drive. Yeah, that's a solid start. This is technically the first one I watched, but I've never watched the whole thing. So, because of that, I say it's a very solid start. I can't imagine I'll like it as much going back to it, only because the other shows scratched, like, certain itches. And I also think the plot premise is, like, too close to W for me to just forget about that. So it's still a good way to, like, get someone into it. And I could see people really getting into Kamen Rider just through, like, Drive alone if they like more upbeat, like, cop comedy shows. That and all the forms are pretty, like... I like them a lot. I know some people call the forms ugly, though, so that might be something you have to fight on in terms of that. And now we get to the final show that I have seen. Ghost. I low-key have a bone to pick with every single person who's ever, like, talked about Ghost. With that said, we're gonna go... See, what makes Ghost hard for me is that the reason why people don't like it is because it's Kingdom Hearts writing. If you do not fucks with Kingdom Hearts writing and you need all your writer shows to be dark and edgy, for one thing, stick to Heisei 1, buddy. But also, I can't completely, like, ignore that. You know what? Nah, this is a solid show all around. I can't ignore the fact that this show has gotten, like, a couple of my own friends into writer as a whole. And then, like, I tell them, yeah, people hate this season, by the way. And they're just in complete shock. And I just completely disagree with that notion, like, in general. Especially when Kabuto exists. You're telling me this is the worst season when Kabuto doesn't even have a... I'm gonna calm down. No, we're not doing that. Not now. I already did that. We're never doing that again. I'm free. I'm free from your stupid presence. I'm never doing that again. And as a sort of runner-up deal, these are the shows that, like, if you were to get someone in a writer, if you wanted, like, to pick a first show for them to watch, or like, the only show that they would ever watch, these are the shows that I would, like, sort of roll with. Though, judging entirely by what I have personally heard when it comes to these, it would be... Den-O would be great. Kiva, if what I've heard is true, which, honestly, I doubt it's that bad, it probably depends on preference. Decade is solid. Zio is just never a first, just hands down. This is never first, because that one extends the stories of every single Heisei writer, so you kind of can't really watch it without watching everything else. Decade has the advantage of having alternate, like, worlds, so you can still get the gimmicks of all the other writer shows, but you won't get any, like, technical spoilers. Xaid, I put it depends on preference, because Xaid's like a whole, it's his whole thing is being a gamer. He's like Super Mario and all that. So some people don't like that, then it would definitely be unwise. Build, I haven't seen Build myself, so I'll probably put it in solid. I can't imagine Build being that much better than some of the other shows I really like. So it is, like, based off of stuff I have seen, and then I will quick build the other one for... Yeah, it is, like, based off of what I've heard before. Yeah. God, Fies is just by itself. I can't imagine, like, waiting to watch any other show compared to Fies. Like, it's just so weird. Anyway, let me set that back. Yeah, here's just a short little thing, because I was, like, vaguely interested in it, and also, like, I wanted to recommend shows that you could probably introduce your friends to watch, or, like, try to get them to watch writer. I sort of do that with my friends. I finally got a break from all the stuff I've been doing, and I'm hoping to get more of my editing done and everything. But only time will tell. Thanks for sticking around if you made it this far, and I will see ya when I see ya. Later.